Boom, and we're live. All right, welcome everyone. Give me a sec, set everything up. This should start in now. Trying to start the Jesus Christ, the fucking Twitter is pain in the ass. There we go. Mr. Twitter, thank you for joining. Un momento. All right. All right, everyone. We have last piece of data for the month of August before a long weekend. After pretty much we have the next 2 hours is going to be tradable, and after that it's gone. All right. So we just came out in line with data. So which is one second, I'm just looking. Let's let me show you. So PC data came in line. So that means there's no change in the narrative. There's more data. One sec. So that means there is no data change. There is no change in the fundamental. There is no shift in fundamentals. So right. So I think it's steady as she goes. So we're gonna be buying dips. So I took half off yesterday before lunch, somewhere around here, and almost at the top, and then put it at break even. I just got stopped out at my second half at break even at whatever 4 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever the fuck it was, on Nasdaq. And I'm thinking of. It would be nice, of course, if we see this, but with the fundamental news and everybody essentially, since all the news came out in line, I don't think we're gonna get a lot of movement today. So basically, steady as she goes, and steady as she goes means everybody is already booking their helicopter rides from Manhattan to Hamptons, right? All right, let's take a look what we can do with this today. Tricky, because we have in an hour we have obviously the 1 second. Oh shit, calendar, fuck. Stupid calendar, my bad. Yeah, so looking. So this was my Nasdaq. Oops, let me just go back. I moved it. So yesterday entered here when we were live on air, or a little prior to it. I booked at lunch. I closed the took half off, and it went up a little bit, and then it now reverted and took me out at my break even for the second half. That was my yesterday. Gold, I fully booked it yesterday. We were long a retest of this. If you remember, this was the trade. Right, the retest of this. So the entry was this candle right here. Rolled it up, took half off, then closed it fully, and then yeah. So now I'm waiting. Where can I enter now? Is the big question. Honestly, today's Friday. Friday is not the best day to do a whole lot of trading. It's best to, given that Monday is also a U.S. holiday, I don't know if there's a point in I don't see a competitive advantage in entering the trades. I'm still biased to the long side. I would be interested maybe in buying Nasdaq, but I would be a lot more comfortable if Nasdaq would be somewhere here. in my infamous Goldilocks zone, right? The fib, the 618 and to 786 fib zone, right? The golden ratio, right? 618. So this is where I'm actually looking to, this would be a much nicer entry. Here we kind of have to jump into the action right now, and you can see there's not a whole lot of volatility because, I mean, there was an initial jump that the I would let the let's say this. Let's wait for 15-minute close in 9 minutes, and then we'll see what happens. This is just the initial knee-jerk reaction by the algos. We're not algos in this sense, and then we're not. The algos did the initial trades, so they're gonna take profit. This is the them slowly taking profit. So we're gonna let the dust settle a little bit before we jump in. But again, come September. Also, big piece of news today. Just on CNBC, just announced the Weller, one of the Fed members. He is considered to be a front runner to replace Powell, and he just came in on the wires saying, if I'm prepared to cut interest rates in September by 25 basis points, essentially. Okay, so he's kind of like saying, hey, pick me, pick me, pick me. And what Trump is looking for is a yes man. So they, I guess, I mean, who gives a shit, right? You get to be a president of the Federal Reserve. So you have to throw your old boss under the bus. That's what he's doing. Fuck it, great career move. Trump would remove Powell either way. So anyway, let me do some quick questions. There were some good questions. Let me see. There was some guy who asked a big question. I asked this question. Okay. When I look at my trade, well, hold on, let me pop it out. Make it all pretty. We're gonna be waiting for the for this dust to settle, so I'm gonna take a few questions for now. Let me pop this fucking thing off. Oh Jesus, give me patience. For fuck's sake, how do you pop this fucking thing off? Live chat. There we go. There we go. Pop out the chat. We put it right here, and let's see. Select this. There we go. All right, nice and chunky. This is the question. All right. Top chat, live chat. Where's the fucking question? Jesus Christ. I'll take a look at NASDAQ. What, did it? Alright, I think Nick posted. Okay, the question was, I don't know why the fuck it's not... no idea why it's being a little gay right now. All messages all visible. I don't know why it's not scrolling to the top right now, but anyway, doesn't matter. The good question was, when I look at my, let me just remove this for now. When I look at my trading style, it goes like I win continuously 7-8 trades, and then very next I lose continuously every time it happens. Any tip? Okay, so he's basically saying that he goes through streaks of seven wins, let's say, and then he goes on to giving it all back. It all comes back to your financial thermostat. So see, when imagine you're just being out of your comfort zone. So most likely than not, your position sizing is wrong. You need to remove the P&L, because after 7, and you need to stay. You need to meditate. You need to work out. You need to learn how to be stable emotionally. What happens is you self-sabotage yourself. We all had that happen. We have a couple of winners in a row. Well, yeah, I feel like $1 million, and then you loosen you become loosey goosey. Your risk management becomes a little not as focused because you think your shit don't stink. All right, put it in Brooklyn terms. It means you are flying too high and your wings get burnt by your own psyche, your subconscious mind, and you get to fall back down to your. It's a mean reversion trade that you're doing, okay, on yourself through subconscious self-sabotage, because your comfort zone is this. All of a sudden, this is your circle. This is the circle you're finding yourself in, and your brain is like, it's panicking, it's going into lizard mode, in survival, fight or flight mode, and it's like, no. We need to bring the temperature down. We gotta cool it off, and that's might be one of the reasons. And you literally drive yourself back into your normal comfort zone. So you need to expand this. If you expand your zone too fast, that's usually what happens. This is very noticeable with somebody like who wins the lottery, for example, right? Why do you think every putz who wins $50 million, $100 million in a lottery, it's statistically 99% of them will be broke in 5 years. Broke. They went through the whole because their financial temperature was the size of their fucking anus, and now they're this big financially, and it's a mismatch. So naturally, they can only operate in this small of a circle. So they don't even realize it, but that's a self-sabotaging action that your subconscious programming does to you. It's a program that you run subconsciously. You don't even understand that. It's not about wasting money, this and that. They all realize, everybody knows, save something, buy some real estate, some basic fucking nonsense, right? No, but they gotta buy tigers. They gotta buy, like Mike Tyson made over $500 million in just prize money over his lifetime. So went bankrupt. MC Hammer, whatever, pick a fucking some kind of sports star. 80% of them, 90% of them go bankrupt the minute they stop playing, right? Because the money is not coming in anymore, but they got the expenses up the ass, and lo and behold, that happens because they're not managing money. Anyway, so with the trading, what you should be doing, like I said yesterday, you should remove the P&L from your screens. Deal with percentages, number one. Number two, when you start feeling just like when you're all depressed and oh my God, I suck at trading and life sucks and this is unfair. Same thing happens when you're in a high emotional state, right? When you're in a high emotional state, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm the best, I'm the fucking number one, I got the biggest dick in the world, fuck you, yeah. Right, all this bullshit that's going through your head because you did 7 of your whatever, you did a string of very nice trades. That's also an emotional. Your amplitude of your emotional. You're essentially operating in emotional fields, and not in the logical, cooled off states. Right, in the emotional states, and you need to walk away. So in banks, hedge funds, you have risk managers. They come to you, tap on your shoulder and say, get the fuck out of the office. I don't want to see you for 2 days. Fuck off. That's how they talk. That's how they talk emotionally. They don't talk, hey, would you please consider, get the fuck out, come back in 2 days, done. That's it. There's no mushy-meshy political correctness going on. Okay? And the reason why they do that is because if you're too elated, you're 99% of people will make mistakes in their next few trades because they think that they're God themselves reincarnated on Earth. You know what I mean? Their ego is way out of whack. So but you don't have those risk managers standing behind you, tapping on your shoulder, saying, "Hey, you just took three losers, get the fuck out." Or you had an amazing stellar run, you know, take a day off, cool off, regain your you need to ground yourself, you know, right? So that you should, I hope I answered. If you want me, if you have a follow-up question, ask, but I hope that kind of that kind of answered your shit. So one sec. Oh wow, okay. Nasdaq, schmasdaq, this, that. All right, I want to send video too. Bye. Yep, please send videos. That's a good question. Whoever asked that question, give him a price. Nick or Jennifer, whoever is available. Nick, please. That was a solid question, and they made a point to ask it again, even though I didn't answer. So you win. All right, let's take a look at NASDAQ. All right, so NASDAQ, you see, again, so what we have here, this is 15-minute. I don't like 15-minute, but this is the low, this is the high, this is the lower low, this is the higher high. So maybe we're now attempting to do a downtrend reversal. Right, because we have news come out. You can buy right now with the stop loss here and target here, this order block, right? This one. So oops, this candle. You could do that. It's risky though, because you still have cash market open in 45 minutes. Maybe you'll get there in 45 minutes and we can close it. I would definitely close it prior to cash market open because you're going to get this. Okay? So if you want to go long, go long. I'm not a 15-minute trader. Like I said, I can wait for an hour setup. So if this hourly candle closes bullishly, I will definitely, and then we have a takeout of the next high, I'll target, this will be my trade, targeting these highs. Okay? But again, it's Friday. Friday is not the best day to trade. Most professional traders don't trade Fridays. Very rarely. Unless it's a very type of setup. Usually everybody skips Fridays because it's a profit-taking day, not a let me enter into some shit day. So because you have basically on Friday you have three things happening. You have winners who rolled all of this since Monday and we were long, right? Winners who rode this up since Monday, now they're going to take profit somewhere and they're going to close their position books for the week and they can fuck off onto the long weekend. Then category number 2, you have fucking losers who are trying to attempt Hail Mary the last day of summer. I need a win. So they do crazy shit, you know? So you have profit taking, you have crazy motherfuckers throwing, Hail Mary pass for those in America. It's basically the last-ditch effort in football, in American football, and then Friday overall is. It doesn't look too bad. We've essentially retested these highs here. Body of this order block, not bad. Again, when I'm starting to do this, look at this girl like from this angle. Is she hot? Is she not? That's to me. I usually stay away from that because it should be dead set apparent. Again, we have long weekend coming up. People will be taking profits. People will be doing Hail Mary passes, and people will be. Who avoid weekend risk close their positions as well, right? So profit taking who are riding the right trend, desperate people rather, who are trying to make the revenge trade essentially into the end of the week, and people who don't like to expose themselves to weekend risk because let's say on weekend something comes out, some kind of piece of news, and it's a long weekend, so US restarts trading on Tuesday. Okay, so after maybe in 2 hours, it's going to be over in US and over for the rest of the day for the most people. And so you have essentially 4 days until the next big opportunity. And this weekend, everybody's getting drunk. Okay, so nobody's going to be watching shit. So why have an exposure to some kind of move? You can have a gap open on Tuesday, which the price will be here. Would you rather close it now? If you, let's say you bought it on Monday, you saw up down, you took the breakout of higher low, or you bought the retest here, whatever, here, right? Whatever you did. If you're writing this, you might as well just book it. I booked it yesterday, and very not far from the top, somewhere here, and I'm okay. I booked it. I made money. I had 4 or 5 trades, 2 gold, 2 Nasdaq, or 3 gold, 2 Nasdaq, and that's good enough for me. Why am I gonna sit through a possibility of any important person coming out over the weekend? Some shit happened. World War III starts. Bam, right? So you have a massive gap. That means your stop loss is not going to be even triggered here. Let's say it will be triggered here if market gaps down that big. I'm just saying. So most professional traders understand that, and they just don't do anything on Fridays. They just stay away. Or the ones who were profitable for the week, they just take profit and they call it a day. Okay. You obviously can have a gap up too, but then you're gambling, right? And your job is not to gamble. Your job is to trade. And to trade with probabilities when you have stacked up probabilities. Right now, your bias is still to the top side, but you have too many wrenches thrown in the equation for you to make it an A type of setup. Let's put it that way. Gold is pumping. So unfortunately for us, gold is running out of room. If let's say you want to buy now and put your stop loss here, you literally don't have room before some shit starts happening here. Gold is a stay away from me for now. I want gold to do this around here. What? It will basically, this is the impulsive move. This is the correction, the sideways correction, and it's the sideways correction underneath the resistance. What that means is you have a spring that's being compressed. And then come Tuesday, whammo, you get the explosive move. So I'd rather wait for Tuesday and let the dickheads play around in a kiddie pool, So again, you have to understand where you are on the map using what the timeline, the week timeline, the monthly timeline, what's going on, right? So gold is still bullish. But we're now at resistance, and you don't buy at resistance because might have a violent breakout. Trust me, you're gonna have a pullback, and you want to buy it right here. Okay, that's breakout, retest, continuation, breakout, retest, continuation. I've been nauseamly fucking repeating like a monkey. All right, so that's about it. This is where we are. This is where we are with gold. To me personally, this is. For now, let's see daily, right? So you have a compression of, we are basically approaching the top boundary of the thing. So if I'm gonna get long, I want it to be this is the ATR. See these lines? That's the ATR. One sec. All right, so these are the ATR, meaning the average true range of the typical move for a day for gold. So if I'm gonna buy, I would want to be buying close to this, because that means the price will be exhausted for the day, and then we're still gonna get a bounce, so I can get out at least for some profit. And I'm not gonna be selling gold, so that's out of the question. But we are really banging against the confluence of resistances. So even though this is starting to look bullish, and stop loss here, buy now and ride it, you can scalp it on the 15-minute maybe. And again, even on a 15-minute, I would wait to buy for this to go here and then buy. So let me just redraw this on the 15-minute. If you want to do short-term trade, we're now, first of all, wait for this candle to close in 5 minutes. We close bullishly. If you see a pullback into this order block right here, and starting a continuation, you buy the continuation right here, okay? That's what I would do on the short-term time frame. And then obviously stop will be here. So you will have scalping room there. Let's do some questions from yesterday. Somebody, Nick, was kind enough to repost yesterday's questions. All right. In your experience, what's the single... Wait. 1 second. Where's my mouse? Fucking up. There we go. All right, better. So, in your experience, what's the single most underrated skill that turns an average trader into consistently funded one? Discipline. Discipline, discipline, and discipline. Discipline is the key to, it's your psychology. Everybody, there are billion and one winning trading formulas. Okay, it's not about the technique of entering and exiting. It's about executing that technique properly every single time. Okay. I'll give a stupid example. Everybody knows how to shoot a pistol. You press the you press the trigger, right? But when you shoot competitively, depending how you press, your bullet is either gonna go. You're either gonna miss or you're not gonna miss. You're gonna be off target or on target. And if you jerk it, your shit is not gonna hit the target at the distance. Okay, so the professionals, they do the same movement every single time, no matter how fast they're shooting, no matter the course of action they're taking. Same thing here. No matter the setup, no matter, you have to be cold, you have to execute it in the same manner every single time. So you have to stay disciplined and not be distracted and not FOMO in, basically not to be a slave to your emotions. Because we are all emotional creatures. We all have emotional impulses. And being disciplined means you don't act on them and you understand which ones are, how to proceed despite of them, so to speak. Okay? So. Okay, how should I take back my trust in my self-analysis and trust in my analysis? Very simple. You take $100, you take $1,000, whatever it is, small but meaningful number to you, and you do 100 trades, and until you journal every single one of them, and until you can make profit percentage-wise on that $100, it doesn't matter if you made 5% a week on $100, which is $5. It means nothing, right? But in percentage terms, it's everything, because it's 5% a week. Now, if I give you $1 million, 5% a week is 50 G's, right? On $1 million account, let's say 2 million might be too much for you. Let's say $100,000 account that anybody can buy for less than $1,000, right? 5% a week, that's $5,000 a week. That's $20,000 a month. That's $240,000 a year. That's a fucking the highest of the highest salaries you can achieve. And this is you trading your fucking $100 5% a week. You understand? So it's not about your $100. It's about using that $100 to develop the system over the course of the next 6 months to a year, and then you scale up. All right, and then you're going to be making the serious money. Right now, you're in the university. You're in the playground. So just play. Just develop your system. This is how you're going to become. You're going to take back the trust. You have no trust. You have no self-confidence. Why would you? It's like, again, you're going to give me a scalpel and say, okay, perform the fucking open heart surgery or brain surgery on this guy. I've never done it before. How the fuck am I going to have confidence? Right? Even if I've done it twice, I'm probably not going to have a lot of confidence. Right? A 70-year-old doctor who did thousands of them, he'll be like, no problem. Stitch him up, get the fuck out. Right? Same thing. So you need to have the reps in. And you need to, obviously, not just shoot in all directions. You have to find the system. You have to start tweaking it. Again, journaling. With journaling, you're going to start noticing statistically significant data of what the fuck to do and what the fuck not to do. Because everybody does same repetitive mistakes. And I promise you, if you have 50 entries in your journal of before and after, you're going to be like, holy shit, I thought this is going to happen every single time. The opposite happens. Your brain will finally pick it up because you're not registering it. When you're not taking when you're just taking mental notes of, I win some. Do you remember what the fuck you did 2 weeks ago, a month ago? No. But when you have those pictures in your journal, your trading journal, of every single trade that you take, you're like, holy shit, I thought this is going to go up. And out of 10 times, it went down actually 9 times. So am I retarded to take it one more time the next day? No, you're going to stop taking those fucking trades, right? And with the winning ones, you're going to see the winning ones also repeat themselves the same way. And that's the ones you're going to start taking. And then you're going to have a whole lot of break-even trades or plus or minus, plus or minus. So you're going to be like, how can I turn this break-even trade or small win trade into a bigger win trade? And then you do a series of testing on that. And that takes time. All right? That takes at least 6 months to a year of fucking work. If you want to make on a $100,000 account, you want to make $250,000 salary, so to speak, for yourself using prop money, then fucking do some work. What do you think? People who are getting paid $250,000 a year, they just sit in the office like this, do nothing, right? Well, maybe some of that. I don't give a shit, right? Now, the more interesting part is, what if you get a bunch of funded accounts? You get scaled up on those accounts. You have $1 million under your management now, right? And then you make $200,000 a month. Somebody's yearly salary in 1 fucking month. All right? Then what? That's the same 5 fucking percent that you started with your $100 fucking dollars. All right? So don't ever discourage yourself for trading small. Stop thinking like a retard and trying to turn your $100 into 1 billion, quadrillion fucking nanodollars. I don't give a shit, right? Stop turning that $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 into $100,000. That's not the name of the game. The name of the game is you have $100,000 and you make 20% on it. Okay? That's the name of the game. That's what Wall Street is playing. What you're playing is called, I'm a retarded gambler. And now, thanks to prop firms, you have access to the $100,000. It might not be the easiest way of obtaining $100,000 because you have, obviously, you can't just willy-nilly double down and do crazy shit with not your money. With your money, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, yes. But who else is going to give you $100,000? Nobody. So, you make do. Because back in the day, you didn't even have those chances. All right? So, instead of bitching, use this opportunity while this opportunity exists. Like I always say, these fucking elevators up, they get shut down fast. Nobody upstairs wants you to be coming, joining the party and stank up the room. You know what I mean? So, I'm not talking about... 1 second. I'm not talking about us not wanting you to succeed. I'm talking about that the system in place wants you to be a corporate slave. They want you to go get a stupid job, go drive in your car to the office, sit in the cubicles, shut the fuck up, don't look at this person that way, don't look at this, don't say this, don't do that, like a fucking kindergarten. You want to be in a kindergarten for the rest of your life? Being told what the fuck to do, how to think, what to do, when to do it. The fuck is wrong with you? Right? So, to avoid all that bullshit, trading is still one of the elevators that still works. Still works. okay? And the longer we live in this society, the constraints become harder and harder and harder and harder, right? Because rich people who are already there, most of them don't want you to touch their shit. They want to be the only fucking cocksucker standing on the on the hill, king of the hill, right? So the Bill Gates doesn't want another Microsoft competitor, and he'll do everything possible to make sure there is no other fucking Microsoft competitor, blah, 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 blah. That's why all the antitrust lawsuits and all that shit. Google, same way, right? With advertising. So, anyway, the point being, while you still have a chance, use this opportunity to get funded, think in percentage terms. If you start thinking in percentage terms, then it doesn't matter what kind of size you trade, because your trading will be the same. And at the end of a month, you will receive a much better, proverbial check. Now it's all wired and whatever, digital money, whatever the fuck. But you will receive a check, and you were getting a $5 check from your $100. Now you're getting a $5,000 check. Then you're getting a $50,000 check. It's the same 5%. Okay? So I hope that answers that question. Stan, how do you begin your trading journey? Well, I was in New York. I grew up in New York. And in New York, you either become a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, and maybe engineers, or obviously or finance. I didn't want to be a doctor because I didn't want to memorize all the Latin fucking names for every single bone and be in school for 10 fucking years. Accounting was too boring, too pencil pushing. Lawyers are all scumbags. No offense, we all need them, but it wasn't me. And so finance was the dumbest thing I could think of to do. That's how I started in finance. I went to I have degrees in finance and investments and from universities, and then I got first jobs, first gigs, started rolling this that, and then 2008 came, and then all fucking crashed and burned. So I had to restart a lot of things again, and moved to Miami afterwards, retired, did fuck all for a couple of years because I didn't need to work. I found it extremely boring, and then I started working diligently again. That's why I built up multiple firms, funds, and trading. Obviously, once a trader, always a trader. It's a disease, as my uncle used to say. It's a disease. Because once you catch this bug, you're always going to be watching the markets. It's like this is the most interesting game in the world, figuring this shit out. Okay, this is this is the most elite game on the planet. Not fucking football with your fucking beer at the fucking bar like a jerk off. My team win. Yeah, we won, man. You didn't win dick. Okay, this is winning. This is when you fucking put your brain to the test and you win. Unless you're playing for, some major, unless you are a baller yourself, you're playing on the field and you're the fucking player, one of those players, you didn't do anything. You were drinking beer, farting in the fucking bar. That's all you were doing, okay? With your fucking flag like a retard. Meanwhile, motherfuckers are hustling and making money, okay? And whatever. And own these bars. Because they can write a check and buy the fucking thing. Anyway. So, and the finance always appealed to me because this is a very honest thing. It's not like you go to the office and you're like, oh, I'm tired today, I'm hungover, or whatever, and you're gonna like barely passable minimum work, not to get fired, essentially, right? You just do some bullshit. Here, there's no hiding. You either make a killing or you don't make a killing. This is a very honest and brutal sport. And I respect that. That's why I couldn't be a lawyer, because I would tell you how it is to the fucking. I wouldn't be able to do you have to be a morally compromised person to be a lawyer. I'm not one of those people. I cannot. I will tell you how it is. You fucking suck, you cocksucker. Go fuck yourself. That's how I talk. So in a courtroom, I would be arrested as a lawyer, or you know what I mean. So that job was out of the question for me. So here, it's very brutally honest. I can bitch, I can moan, I can dance, I can be black, white, Chinese, lady, boy, blah, 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 whatever the fuck you want to be. It doesn't matter to the market. You can be whatever you want, say whatever you want, do whatever you want. the only thing that matters is are you making money trading or not? And that all comes from your psychology. So it's you against you, and that's the most, again, this is the most difficult aspect of trading, because here essentially what you have a lot of times, like in let's say in playoffs in sports, again, stupid analogies, like in basketball playoffs, it's 5 seconds on the clock, and you get the ball, you're like, do you choke, or do you clutch, right, and you swoosh it in, right? 5 seconds or 1 second on the fucking on the clock, right? Or you make that goal. So you get to do this every single time, because you have to just this is the type of pressure you're under. You have to perform clutch all the time, especially when you trade large amounts of capital, because if you don't perform clutch, if you're subpar in your game, you're gonna start losing. If you're fucking, if you're going out every night popping bottles because you can afford to with this type of business, trust me, your trading is gonna go down the drain very fast, because you're not gonna be optimally right here. All right. So hope that kind of answers my question, how I ended up in this wonderful situation. So, and I do like independence. I don't like to be told what to do by anybody. I don't want to have a boss, even though I had bosses in trading, but they didn't give a shit what I do. They give a shit about the performance, and that's what I find very honest. There's no racism or sexism or anything. Nobody cares. You can be from Mars. Nobody cares. You're making money. Do whatever the fuck you want. You want to, tickle your balls, upside down, blah blah blah. I don't know. Do it. Nobody cares. They only care about the outcome of your trading. Obviously, legal trading. I'm not talking about insider trading and this and that and all that shit, right? I'm talking about fighting it, duking it out honestly in the markets. And this is the most interesting mental game to me in the world. Because you're making money and you're figuring out geopolitical circumstances and macroeconomical forces that are all intertwined into this price action, and you need to understand, be on a winning side of all those things. And to me, that's fucking priceless. You know what I mean? I love this shit. There's nothing like this. I play tennis. I've been playing tennis all my life. I like the competitiveness of sports, but no tennis, no orgies, no nothing will substitute being fucking just dialed in, like being fucking nice with your trading. Finally, when shit starts clicking, like, fuck yeah, I got it, because the amount of agony and misery you have to go through before you get to that nice point is such a fucking astounding mountain of shit you have to eat, that when you finally get it, it's the blissful fucking, you finally, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot out of you to get to the promised land, and that's why the reward feels so fucking good, because the other side was so bad that the other side was so bad that when you finally get to taste you start reaping rewards for all the hard work you've been doing, that is just the most blissful feeling in the world, and you get to be independent and rich at the same fucking time. Nobody tells you what the fuck to do. I don't look at dinner prices. I don't look at anything. I want to go somewhere, I just buy a ticket and I go first class. Yeah, I don't have a jet. Fuck it. But I can fly. Then I can afford $10,000 ticket to fly to France right now for the weekend, just to say bonjour, go fuck yourselves and eat some fucking whatever pate. Okay, that's it. So obviously there's always, and somebody has a fucking mega yacht. They can swim there. Okay, fine. There's always levels, and I'm not done with my leveling up either. But I don't have to answer to anybody. I don't have to do anything if I don't want to. And that's freedom. And freedom is priceless. Okay? I don't have to answer to anybody. Don't have to make phone calls, talk to anybody if I don't want to. I don't need to. And I love that. That's something that's very important to me. All right? That's why trading. That's how I ended up here. Not a lot of things will offer you that. All right. Okay. How important do you think psychology is when it comes to trading and decisions, and how do you personally manage emotions such as fear, greed, overconfidence? Hold on. One second. Let me. And how do you manage emotions such as fear, greed, and overconfidence while analyzing the market? Again, the only way you're gonna have any you can manage emotions through having a live journal of all your trades, right? You see that despite you just need to do more of this and less of that, and that's it. And even if I get the emotional response, I've talked about it yesterday ad nauseum too. If I even get I get those responses within me still, those impulses of emotional impulses, I get them as well. But I don't act on them anymore, because like I see FOMOing in, something is flying, I don't FOMO in. Like here, gold is good, rallying right now. But I can wait for it to rally even higher, then do a pullback, and then take that confident trade, A type of trade, rather than risk to make this amount while risking this amount as my stop loss, right? Because you're approaching a heavy zone. So why are you gonna be banging against the ceiling? Because people who bought here and people who bought here are the same people who are now buying here. And then look what happened. Wow, wow, wow. So I'll wait for the wow, and then I will buy again. Okay? So hope that helps. And if we get a breakout, then I'm gonna get a pullback, and I'm gonna get my pullback. Oh, pullbacks always come. You might have to wait. You have to be disciplined. But I just take my setups. I don't take willy-nilly shit. Just because market is doing this way or that way, again, most people, they come to the office, their proverbial office, and they're like, should I buy or should I sell? Should I buy or no? That's not what trading is. Just because you're at this random point in the market doesn't mean you should be acting on it. You should be buying only when there is a setup that you know that works over and over and over again. 60% of the time, or 50, whatever your risk to reward, that's whatever, right? You get the point. That it works out for you financially. Out of 100 trades, you will make money taking that setup. How do you find it? You have to spend 2 years, 1 year, 6 months, finding the tools, reading, watching videos. Oh, by the way, don't buy any courses. Everything is free on YouTube. At least basic shit. And then you piece the puzzle together. And that takes a year. Okay? That's why I'm telling you, it just takes time. And then you work with percentages. And then you increase the size. And that's when you become profitable and you make money on it. So when you trade your $1,000, it's not to make $2,000 out of it. It's to literally be consistent, making 1, 2, 3, 5% on it. And then you wait the 6 months. Oh shit! For the last 3-4 months, I'm being very successful. You increase the size, then you get a $10,000 account or $50,000 account on prop, or you put in, or some of you more. If you have money, you put in your own money, and you do the same percentages. Careful, slow. This is not a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. The problem is you see all these articles about how I turned my $50 into $1 million in some fucking bullshit, in 2 days, in crypto or some other shit, right? It's all garbage. It's 1 out of 1 billion people get lucky. You're playing lottery here, and they're teaching you how to. You think that playing lottery is a viable means of becoming a millionaire, No, it's not. So, you know, stop chasing quick money. Quick money will always result in some, it doesn't end well. Okay? So do your work, be diligent about it, and you will become successful. You know, that's the name of the game. That's all I can say. You have to be patient enough to not be a fucking, okay, somebody, Stan, sometime I feel so down. I mean, it's the same questions, I suppose. Stan, sometimes I feel, I just did the $1,000 question. Okay, Stan, sometimes I feel so down looking at my age, people enjoying their youth, and I here stuck at the, sometimes they're better. How can I motivate? Okay, very easily. When you're going to be 30, you're going to be the one with the Lambo, and they are going to be the one working their shitty fucking jobs still. They're going to be drinking, killing their brain cells, and trust me, I see it all the time. The thing is, you don't see it yet because they don't have obviously the experience. And what happens is they peak at where they are right now. You're putting a seed so you germinate and you become a fucking tree while they're this little fucking shrub underneath you. Okay? Because again, this is not a sprint, this is a marathon. So while yes, they're fucking drinking, doing drugs, whatever the fuck they're doing in their 20s, right? They're doing all that shit in excess. And oh yeah, I post all that shit on Instagram. You're like, oh fuck, I'm sitting here fucking working like a jerk off, studying. But then same thing happens with the doctors, right? They have to spend their 20s learning how to become a good doctor. And then they enjoy the fruits of their labor. When they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, trust me, it's a lot better to be rich in your 30s than have a couple of $1,000s to spend in your 20s. And it looks fun. Yeah, because nobody, whatever, you buy cheap beer. But it's okay. Again, you're not going to become a basketball star if you're doing drugs, smoking weed, and drinking beers on the corner. If you're not, practicing basketball, whatever, right? Same thing here. You're here, you're studying, so you will be a legend in 10 years. They are going to be average forever. And it's very, very rewarding. You see this after you click over, you see all these people kind of like plateau as where they were in their 20s. Yeah, they have a little job growth. But like I've just explained to you, $1 million account, you make 2, 3, 5%. You make 2% a week. You make their fucking annual salary in a month. And then who's fucking dancing? All right? And you are doing it independently. You don't have to be dependent on anybody. You can be you can go travel if you want and do it from your laptop if you're good enough. Or you can, whatever. It just you'll piss in their faces. Let me put it that way. That's my that's my final thought. You will piss in their faces when the time comes. So that's it. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of questions. Whew. All right. How do you control FOMO when the market is moving fast? Very simply, I've been beaten to the pulp by markets so many times. I've been fucking, beaten with a stick so many times over my lifetime that in trading that I just don't do it. You just don't. It's like, how many times are you gonna put your hand on a hot stove before you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't fucking do this, right? So that's it. That's why I don't FOMO. It was beaten out of me by markets, and I know that I'm not, not to chase. That's what I've been trying to explain with the gold trade. I will wait for it to FOMO. I will wait for people to get stuck in that FOMO. They're gonna get stopped out. I'll take my fucking long position when they get fucking popped. That's when I'm gonna get on long. All right. So I'll just have to wait for that to happen. That nothing wrong with that. All right. Stan, do you think we should have a robot mentality to succeed? You're not gonna have a robot mentality. I still make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. You just make a lot less of them. Okay. You're not. I'm not saying you should be a monk, 24/7 forever. Just sit, but just to allow yourself to be focused on one thing, so you can be enjoying everything later on. Because now what you have is you think, okay, I can do both things. I can go party with my friends. I can live that social lifestyle of a social butterfly, and be here, be there, and all you're gonna be is just half-assing everything. You're not gonna become a top of the top in successful people in this world if you're gonna be half-assing anything. Okay? All the bullshit stories on Instagram, this, that, it's all bullshit. You cannot half-ass your way. You can, but it's gonna be taken away from you because again, you didn't deserve it. Your subconscious mind, your circle of comfort is this. You're here, and you're gonna end up like the lottery winners. You're gonna make $1 million some fucking way, and you're gonna lose it just as fast. Happens all the time. All right. All right, boys. There's a lot of fucking shit. A lot of questions. I'm getting a little exhausted. Let me scroll up. I'll do a few more. Okay, so in your view, what separates traders? Hold on, I'll do these two. In your view, what separates traders who pass a funded challenge once from those who long-term careers as consistently funded traders who want to build long-term record like their whatever revenues? All right, so there's a lot of one-hit wonders, right? Everybody they get one payout, then again they feel so successful and so they're in the la la land now. Okay, I made it. I'm the big cheese. I'm the big kahuna, right? And markets will humble them down again. So it's again, there's no risk manager tapping on your shoulder. Come the fuck down. Even it doesn't matter if you're high or low in an emotional states. You need to level it. So you ground yourself. You don't. You take a day off. You go for walks, runs, play sports, gym. This that. You can't really. If it happens to everybody. But by the way, there's nothing wrong with this is just another step in your it's just another step in the journey, right? So you get to the profitable funded stage, you start being again loosey goosey with your trading, and you lose it. You have to be dialed in order for you to make money. That's why I don't deviate. I don't know how do you not FOMO in? Yeah, I don't deviate. I just do the same fucking motional, a few motions that I have, right? A few entry techniques that I do. And I do it over and over and over again. If the market never rewarded your strategy again, would you still have the discipline to follow it? Well, there is no such thing. Markets are only in 3 states, right? Trending, consolidations, and reversals, right? So your system will work eventually. So what happens is most people, let's say they find some kind of trending technique, and then they get into a chap fest, and they still keep trying the trending technique. No, you have to understand. That's why I'm explaining to you the macro environments and why it's important to understand them, right? So if gold is consolidating, right? This was the trending market. The gold is consolidating. I'm not going to be holding 1 to 5 like here, like you could do here, all right? I'm going to be very nimble. I'm going to be in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out until I start seeing trending again. Once I start seeing trending again, I will be more. This is why the algos are not. You need constant adjustment to your algo, and so do you. You need to understand which environment you're in and how your trading technique. How you're trading. By the way, there's no such thing as the thing. Your trading thing will disappear. It will change slightly, but it's not. It doesn't disappear. It's the same fucking mentality. People are driven by their emotional fears, greed. It's the same, and all of this price action is a reflection of those emotional states. That's all it is. So if I look at the chart of Dow Jones in fucking 1930s, 40s, 50s, whatever the fuck, it's the same shit. It's the same ebbs and flows, same wave motions. It's the same shit, right? Because the psychology of people, we think we're different. We're not different. We're no different than the fucking monkey 100 years ago. Well, there wasn't a monkey. Whatever. 500 years ago. With the sword, freedom, right? We're the same people. We just have different hats. That's all we are. But same people. Okay? We're no more intelligent, no more dumber. Yeah, we know more shit. But, but do the same amount of dumb shit. Right? So this is a reflection of all the emotional states that occurred in trading, and you just need to understand how it happens in order for you to capitalize on it. It's the same patterns. So yeah, you might have to tweak a little bit here and there. Nothing stays the same forever, but that's okay. You tweak it. But once you understand the overall pictures of the markets, you don't need to tweak it that much. It's not like it's markets will go. Something extraordinary will happen. Markets will be markets. Okay, it's just a reflection of psychology of all the players in their sum. All right. So to answer your questions, people will remain dumb, trust me, and probably dumber if not smarter, dumber, given the latest trends in the world. All right. So Stan, once you said luck can be with you with 1 trade, 10 to 100 trades. But once it goes away, we lose everything, hit rock bottom. But consistency isn't like that, right? No, consistency means you rely on skill, not luck, right? People, they have these famous YouTubers, I'm not going to name names, and they're like, let me double account. Let me double your account. Let's 10x the account. Let's turn $1,000 into 100K. Horseshit, bullshit, run away from that. Scam. All right? Not a single fucking professional with half a fucking brain cell would do this. It's just a show, because they're trading first of all on demo accounts, and they don't give a shit. But if you're gonna be thinking about doubling, this is how they sucker you in. It's not about doubling. It's about getting a big enough account and making a percentage off of it. It's reverse. That's what hedge funds do. You give them $100 million. Warren Buffett is famous for making 25% a year. 25%, and he's the best of the best, right? One of the best. There's people making 100%, 50%, whatever. But I'm just saying, not 10x. So why are you watching YouTubers 10xing their accounts? And like, yeah, it's repeatable. It's totally repeatable. Yeah, it's totally. And he's like 22 years old. Yeah, it's totally fucking repeatable. If he's 22 when he's telling you he can 10x your account, shoot him in the head, proverbially. Metaphorically speaking. That's bullshit. It's horseshit. Don't believe these fucking nonsensical stories. It's all for the show. It's all for the clicks. It's all for, it's to create, it's so you come and gamble your money away like a retard. So stop buying into all this shit. All right? So when you are consistent, consistency means out of 100 trades using your technique, you're gonna perform same way. So breakout, retest, continuation, or buying in the deep pullback bankers trade between 618 to Jesus Christ 786, right? Fib zone. My two go-to trades. I have other ones that I take, but these are so solid that this is what I'm teaching you, because it's so easily repeatable, and once you see those patterns, you just take them, and you make money. So that's it. Ooh, all right. Shit. Guys, there's way. I really appreciate those. Thank you. Yeah. Guys, there's a gazillion good questions. For those questions that I haven't answered, I will answer them on Tuesday. We're gonna resume on Tuesday, so please save them. Come back. I will address every single one of them. I promise. It's been over an hour of me yelling in a microphone. I need to do some actual work now. So I'll see you all on Tuesday. Take this weekend off to decompress. You need to walk away to see forest for the trees. So remove yourselves for the weekend. It's a long weekend. Take a break. Do something fun. Don't do retarded shit, but do something so you air your brain out. So when you come back, you have fresh pair of eyes on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever you come back. All right. On that note, all those unanswered questions, please hold on to them, resend them on, and I do appreciate them. All right. A lot, and those questions, a lot of them are very similar, but a lot of people have the same questions. So when you ask a good question, you help other people as well. So, all right. On that wonderful note, I wish you a beautiful long weekend, and I will see you all on Tuesday. All right. Cheers.